All right. So here's the scenario. So your pastor sits down with you and says, "Hey, you know what? We've been thinking about it and we've made the decision. We are going to live stream." And you immediately get excited. You say, "Yay, this is fantastic. We're finally going to live stream. This is going to be great. The ministry is going to be more visible. We're going to win more souls. This is fantastic." And then you suddenly realize, "Uh-oh, I'm the audio person." So it's going to be my responsibility to get audio to this stream. And how do I do that exactly? I'm pretty sure we have equipment. I have equipment I've seen other people use to do this, but I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Not to worry. I'm going to help you out.
At McCrae Music.
All right. So first of all, calm down. All right. That's first thing. Calm down. Breathe in. Come on. Breathe in. Breathe out. It's going to be all right. This is actually a lot easier than you might think. What I'm going to show you in this video is how we can use the Behringer X32 mixing console to send a duplicate copy of our main mix right to our live stream. Super easy. All right. So let's come on over to the X32 and let's take a look at what we've got here. Now let's look at our current setup. Currently what I have, because it's just me, it's not a ton of people in here, don't have a live band. I've got two microphones going on. Here's microphone one. Hey, how you doing? We will now have the offering by such and such. All right. And here is microphone number two. All right. Now I know I'm supposed to be raising the offering, but I got a word for. All right. So mute. All right. So we got those two microphones happening. And I also have an aux here where I am playing just some music from my phone. That's happening right here in aux 5 and 6. And this is my main mix. As you can see, there is currently no signal. So let's go ahead and push up our main fader here. And boom. All right. So this represents my main mix. All right. So in your world, right, whatever it is you got going on, you probably got all kinds of other keyboards and drums and all kinds of stuff, vocals, choir mics, all kinds of things happening on here. This is your mix. I want to send this mix to my live stream. Now, let me just say, doing it this way, in my opinion, is not ideal for several reasons that I'll explain in another series of videos. But we're not talking about ideal here. We're talking about reality. And the reality is oftentimes this is the situation we find ourselves in. I'm the only audio engineer that's here. We do not have a separate video or a video room where we're able to do a separate mix, or we have other things going on. It's just me. It's just this one console. I don't have the time or maybe the know-how to set up a whole separate mix for my live stream. Just not able to do that. I want to send exactly what's going on this board, with exactly what I do here. I want that to be represented in my live stream. We can very easily do that through the routing capabilities of the X32. So let's take a look, and I just want to quickly walk you through the routing options here. So I'm going to come over here to my menus. I'm going to click on the routing button. And let's just start all the way at the beginning and just quickly explain what it is we have here. Our routing area is basically what allows me to control what is coming into my board, what's coming into the X32, all my different sources, where things could be coming from, how it's laid out, and then also control how things are sent out from the X32. So I have an input area, and all these are broken down into blocks of 8, pretty much. So I have an input area. These are all my inputs. This does not matter for this video, so let's move on. AES-A and AES-B would be for if you have a stage box connected via Ethernet. You have 2 ports for that, so here I could control my outputs from those stage boxes. Here is our card output, and this is going to matter. Let me set this to where how it might normally be set up. This is representative of the audio interface card that is in the X32, which allows it to serve as an audio interface for a computer so that you could use a DAW, or you could use like any kind of streaming software, OBS, Pro Presenter, whatever it is that you're using. These are those outputs, right? So this is going to be important. We'll come back to this in a minute. XLR doesn't matter for this video. These are our physical patch points. And then this is the most important part here. So the other stuff we have here, AUXs, these are our aux outs for the back of our console. That could matter. P16 is for if you have the in-ear system. We'll talk about that in another video. And then user, this is pretty cool. It allows us to create custom groupings of inputs and outputs. We will deal with that in another video as well. But right now we want to focus in on our outputs, okay? So these are all the different outputs we have, and these represent the physical outputs that are on the console, but they also represent outputs that can be routed through your card, your audio interface card. So when I look here, I can see what is currently assigned to each of these outputs. And you can see I've got some stuff here. I've got something called stream in L assigned to output 1, stream in R assigned to output 2. I've got my main left and main rights assigned to outputs 3 and 4. And then I have something called stream bus L and stream bus R assigned to outputs 5 and 6. Output 7 and 8 are currently empty. All right. So the first thing we want to do is we want to come here and we want to see how our outputs are set up. Again, remember our goal here is to send our main mix to our stream. So I want to look here, see where my main mix is. Your main mix is going to be somewhere, or else you're not hearing anything in your church right now. So somewhere on here, you should see mix or main rather L and main R. For the purposes of this, make note of the fact that this is coming out of output 3 and output 4 in my current setup. Now, let's say you are setting up everything fresh, right? You just starting from scratch and you need to set up your main L and R, right? We could simply I'll come to a blank output. Output 7, let's say I want it to be my main L. I go to that output. I can come over here and main L is right at the top. I can scroll to it, hit assign, boom. Output 8, I want that to be my right speaker, my right output. Boom, done, right? So I'm going to turn those off. But if, you were just setting this up from scratch, that's how you would do that. Okay, so we've established what is being sent to our different outputs. And these represent, like I said, the physical outputs on the back of the board. But I want to take these and route them through my card. So let's go back over now to card. And I'm not going to even worry about 9 through 32 because we're not dealing with that. We just want to really take 2 channels really and send them somewhere. Okay, send them to our stream. Now, for the purposes of this video, my streaming device is going to be represented by my laptop over here, which is currently running Logic Pro, right? And you can see here, I've got an area called full mix, and right now nothing is coming in here, right? There's signal on my board, as you can see, but there's nothing coming into full mix. Part of that is because I have not routed anything there. So I'm going to simply come over here and I'm going to deal with 1 through 8, and I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to say I want outputs 1 through 8 on my card. I want the physical outs that we just looked at to be routed to those outputs 1 through 8. So I'm going to scroll down to output 1 through 8. I'm going to press this, connect. Now, the beautiful thing about this is when I do it, it's going to show me right over here what those outputs are. So it shows me the information that we just looked at, right? Outputs 1 and 2 are our direct out, aux 1 and direct out, aux 2, whatever that is, right? We don't care about that. 3 and 4 is what we care about. This is our main left and main right mix. That is what we want to send. So this means, now that we've routed this 1 through 8, this means that inputs on our whatever stream device we're using, inputs 1 and 2 are going to be whatever's coming out of these auxes, and inputs 3 and 4 are going to be our main mix. So now let's come over to our streaming device and let's set the input for our streaming device here to be inputs 3 and 4. And voila, look at that. We now have our main mix showing up here. So you would do this on whatever device. If it was OBS, ProPresenter, what have you. You would do the same thing right over here. Inputs 3 and 4, or whatever yours are. All right. Let's just prove that this is my main mix, right? I'm going to pull my main fader. Boom. And now nothing's going there, right? Let's push that back up. And we have sound. Let's come over here to our aux. Let's mute our phone that is sending music, and let's pick up one of our microphones. Praise the Lord, everybody. I just want you to know that, and you can see, hey, that is what's going. Let's pick up our other microphone. This is, whoa, right? That is, I run a really interesting service, as you can see. That is what is currently going to my mix. So it's set up where whatever I do here, that is going to my stream, and that is, in this case, what I want, okay? So in this case, it's being routed directly through the USB, right? So I just have this connected through USB from my X32 to my streaming device, right? If you needed to go through a physical output, we don't need to change anything. You actually would not need to do any of this routing. You would simply make sure that your outputs are set up the way that you want. And then, so in this case, main is 3, main L is 3, main R is 4. And then what you would do is you would take your XLR cables and physically connect them to outputs number 3 and output number 4 on your console here. And then you would connect those to your audio interface or your switcher, whatever it is that you were trying to pull in, right? Or if you had this, where it needed to go to a particular aux out, right? You would do the same thing. Let's say that you need to connect via a 1/4-inch cable, right? You would come over here to your physical aux outs, and you would say, all right, aux out 1 is going to be routed to main L, for example, and then aux out 2 is going to be routed to main R. Then you would physically connect your 1/4-inch cables to those outputs on the back of your console and then connect them wherever they need to go, right? So real simple, real easy, right? Again, not ideal, right? It's not going to give you the most control, but it is going to get your stream exactly, or your mix rather, exactly as it is on your console directly to your stream. That's great. I really hope that helps you. Super easy, just like I promised, right? So you can calm down, right? Your heart can stop palpitating, right? You can now know and feel in your heart, okay, I can at least get my main mix so we have audio going to our live stream. All right, that's great. Feel free to like and subscribe. Please do that. Hit that like button. Do it. It's not hurting you. It's just do like this. Click right on the like button. Hit subscribe. Feel free to go into the comment section, of course. If you have questions and things of that nature or comments, I always love good audio discussions and all that kind of stuff because I'm an audio geek, as you guys know. So feel free to leave those. And we're going to have some other videos coming up. We're going to do a whole series here, not only on live streaming from the X32, but just the use of the X32 in general. All right. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time.